So what it do to everybody? Just still at ASMR, you feel me? Uh, Type of story. Even though I'm not whispering, I can't do that shit all the time. I commend. That's why a lot of these ASMRs, some ASMRs, they drop a video every few weeks, on YouTube because they can't do that shit every single day. That shit take a lot out of you to whisper. You know what I'm saying? I commend them. That's why I love it, because that shit take a lot of talent. Like doing ASMR is not as easy as you think it is. You know what I'm saying? People think it's easy. Like, oh, I could do a video for 20 minutes, and you can't do that shit every day. You'll fuck yourself up. You can't do that shit. But that there is one YouTuber that she do like ASMR like every single day. I don't know how the fuck she do it, but she do it. And she be getting it in, what I'm saying, every day, for like 40 minutes. Like she be, sometimes she kind of whispers, sometimes she do like the low kind of tone voice, but overall she still be getting it in, what I'm saying. But anyway, my love life and career is in a parallel universe, and so yeah, man, let's get into this episode. I'm gonna stand up a little bit and thug. So So I'm gonna start it off like I was on a boat, on my boat. It's called the David Sims boat. It's not like the Titanic boat. It's like a Disneyland boat. It's real big, like a cruise resort boat. It's really big. I had got it built. Just because I wanted to build something like that because I thought about Disneyland, and then I never really got the fuck on there. But I did have people test it out to see if it was, good enough for like customers and stuff. And it was, it was good enough. Got the workers, everybody that get paid, as a salary. They all was on the boat, so they was really happy to see me and my wife's, attending this shit. They seen our babies. Everybody like, oh, your baby's so pretty. You know what I'm saying? Everybody said that, But yeah, so on the boat. Um, I'm looking at my fans interact with these other fans. They talking about Miley Cyrus and they talking about me. So the Miley Cyrus fans, they're talking about that Miley Cyrus is better than me, and then my fans is basically talking about I'm better than Miley Cyrus, which I don't think. I would never compare myself to Miley Cyrus. I think she's a beauty. That's my girl. Like, I love Miley Cyrus. Come on now, that's my baby. So my fans, she was like, this one girl was arguing with this other girl, right? It was funny to me. I ain't gonna lie, I was pretty much laughing. So she like, okay, let's let's be clear about one thing. Miley Cyrus can never do what David do. Like, let's be clear. Let's make this shit clear. You know what I'm saying? While we on this live, let's not fucking fool ourselves. Let's be real. Now, your whole argument was fucking. She did Hannah Montana and all of this shit. And you're right. She did do Hannah Montana, and nobody is taking that shit away from Miley Cyrus. Nobody's taking it away from that girl that she did, Hannah Montana and stuff like that. Like she did that shit. You know what I mean? Like, she 100% did that shit. But, even though that show was a massive success, that wasn't in our fucking time. Like, I don't even think I was fucking born when Hannah Montana came out. You know what I'm saying? So I'm not going to sit here and say that I was a huge fan of something that I wasn't born to even understand. You know what I'm saying? So I get that you probably like that shit now. You know what I'm saying? But let's be real. None of us was really born when that shit came out. We are all fucking teenagers. We all like 14, 15 years old. We was definitely not fucking born when Hannah Montana came out. So let's make that shit known as we fucking talking about this shit. Now, David is in our time. Now, granted, not everybody has to be fans of David. And that's, it's okay to have your opinion about David. If that's what you want to say, you want to say how you feel about David, You know what I'm saying? We ain't gonna come for your necks if you like, come a little bit, respectfully. You know what I'm saying? If you come respectfully, then yeah, we won't come for your neck. But if you just blatantly being disrespectful about our baby and you doing that shit to be funny, then yeah, we will come for your neck. So let's just be real. David has definitely changed the game. Now I hear your whole argument is, oh, how did he change the game? How did he do it? Well, how the fuck you think he did it? I mean, you know how many fucking movies this man got out? And he still got movies coming out right to this fucking day. This man had his own month and had movies coming out with his whole month playing out. It's not new fucking albums, everything. So hold on. Hold on, y'all. Give me a minute. Shit. Hold on. Wait. So she was like, so new fucking albums and everything coming out as his month is playing out. Now, I don't mean like, oh, he got his own day and all this shit. No, this nigga had a whole month of about him. Miley Cyrus been in the game for I don't know how fucking long, for like 30-something years, and she definitely don't got her own damn month. So what I'm saying is like this. If this man, and Miley Cyrus played in movies, I won't take that away from her. She played in movies, but they wasn't good movies. She was like, what you mean it wasn't good movies? The movies that Miley Cyrus played in, they were good movies. They were classic movies. So she was like, I don't know who the fuck you fooling. No, they wasn't. Because I can look at one of the Miley Cyrus movies right now and get bored out of my fucking mind. I do not think, and see, that's the thing. We got to stop kissing the fucking celebrity ass just because they who they are. You know what I'm saying? Because Miley Cyrus was Hannah Montana. We gotta say that everything she did was amazing. No, she can fucking sing. I give her that. She can sing, but her fucking damn acting ability is horrible. She played in shows and she guest starred in episodes, and she was just, I did not like her in that shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, they made her a fucking slut in like everything she played in. You know what I'm saying? And the only kind of good fucking movie that was okay to me was maybe So Undercover. That was probably the most okay movie that she played in that wasn't that fucking bad, and she wasn't that much of a damn slut in. But like all the movies she played in, she was definitely a fucking damn slut. And you can't even lie and say she wasn't. So you sit up here trying to persuade me that she was a great damn actor. None of her fucking movies fucked up the box office. She did that fucking movie, Long Song or Less, whatever fucking shit, where she met her ex-husband, Liam. That fucking movie that was in theaters, that shit ain't do shit. That shit ain't do shit. So let's just be real. She can't bring in the numbers that David bring in. She just can't do it. Fucking movie-wise, David got that shit on lock. David got that shit on lock. So let's not sit here and fool ourselves and act like David ain't that nigga. You know what I'm saying? David put his all in everything. Then you gonna say, well, his music not for me. So she's like, well, his music ain't for me. His music not for me. I ain't gonna lie, he's not my favorite artist. She's like, and he ain't gotta be your damn favorite artist. Because I love his ass and billions of other bitches love his ass. Let's just be real. Who you listen to? Besides Miley Cyrus, who you listen to? So she's like, what you mean? She's like, who is your favorite artist? She's like, Miley Cyrus. She's like, okay, Miley Cyrus is your favorite artist. Do you know David fucking that girl? She's like, what? She's like, do you know that David is fucking Miley Cyrus? Do you know that? She's like, I mean, no, I ain't really know that. She's like, did you know that Miley Cyrus is having this baby? Did you, oh, babies, because they twins. Do you know that he knocked that girl up? See, what you gotta understand is your favorite idol is David's bitch. So let's just be real. If you ask Miley Cyrus right now, if you had a chance to ask Miley Cyrus right now, who was better out of David and her, she probably wouldn't answer that shit. You know why? Because she know deep down in her soul that David's better. She knows that. A lot of these artists know that shit. You see what I'm saying? You sit up here and you try to bash David. She's like, but ain't nobody bashing him. Just because I don't like him don't mean I'm bashing him. She's like, I don't give a fuck if you don't like him. I don't care. She's like, okay, but you the one seem like you getting on your feelings. Like it seemed like you really getting on your feelings about this. Like I can hear it in your voice, the bass in your voice. I can tell that you like really getting on your feelings. She's like, let me tell you something. I'm not getting on my feelings about any damn thing. Okay, because like I said before, you can like who you want to like and listen to whoever the fuck you want to listen to. All I'm trying to prove to you is that your own fucking idol will disagree about what you're saying. Your own idol will sit up here and tell you right in your damn face that she's not better than David. She will literally tell you that shit. David can sing his ass off. And the times where he's like really not trying to sing, he's still good. He still sounds good. See, I know when David is really trying to sing, and I knows when he just don't give a fuck and he's just like, oh, I'm just going to just, you know what I mean? And he still make a good song. So what I'm saying is I know everything about my baby. You know what I'm saying? She don't have a voice like David. Now, Miley Cyrus can fucking sing. I gave her that fucking credit. I gave her that shit. She can sing. She can hold notes and shit like that. She can make okay fucking songs. But I'm not a fucking fan of Miley because all of her songs are boring as shit. Okay? I'm being real with you. You can sit up here and say that you disagree like you've been saying. But all of her songs, it's like, well, wait a minute. David don't make no classic songs. She's like, now that's where I know your ass fucking playing with me. Because there's no way that you believe that David don't make classic songs. There's no way that you actually believe that shit. There's no way. I just don't think that you actually believe that shit. She's like, what do you mean? She's like, David, every fucking song he make is a fucking classic song. So it's no way that you actually believe what's coming out your mouth. I don't think you fucking believe that shit. You know what I do believe? I think that you saying this shit to piss me off. That's what I think. I think you're trying to say all this shit to get a rise out of me. Because there's nowhere in hell that you actually believe that Miley Cyrus is better than David. It's no way in hell that you actually believe that shit. Because let's just do fucking movies since you want to say that she did movies and shit and Hannah Montana. Because that's your only big damn argument. David got TV series. Did Miley Cyrus ever have 5 #1 shows back to back? For fucking like months. We talking about months being in the top #1 spot against each other. David had 5 #1 shows. They was up there in the top 10 spot against each other. And he was the star of all of them bitches. So what I'm saying is, have Miley Cyrus ever competed against her own fucking self? Has she ever competed against her fucking self? No, she haven't. So what I'm saying is, she has never done anything like fucking David. Now, her ass might have been in the game a lot longer than David, but she has never done history the way David has fucking done. So she's like, wait, did you just say that David had 5 #1 shows in the top 10 spot? She's like, yeah, and on every streaming platform, you gotta have what's in the top 10. She's like, in every streaming platform, you gotta have the top 10, like movies and TV series, right? You know, in different separate categories. So, like on Netflix, David had a lot of movies that was playing against each other. And he was the star of all of those movies on Netflix. Then you go to the other streaming platforms, 5 number 1 shows. She's like, but how could they all be number 1 if they in the top 10? She's like, what? She's like, you just said that David had 5 number 1 shows and they was up there for 5 months, but that can't be true because if he had 5 number 1 shows, that means that, and they was in the top spot, that means that some of them had to be number 2, number 3, number 4, number 5. So not all of them was technically number 1. She's like, shut the fuck up. You know what? Let me tell you something. They can't obviously be in the number 1 fucking spot if you got one show that's already in the number 1 spot. But you could technically say, hypothetically fucking speaking, that all of the shows was number 1 in the same fucking category. They didn't fucking move for months. So what I'm saying to you is, yes, that is true that all of them couldn't be technically number 1. You got a point there. But you can might as well say that they all was fucking number 1 because they all was amazing fucking shows. And they stayed in that same order for fucking months. So basically, technically, I'm fucking right. So she like, okay, all right, so what? Okay, so David got better shows than Miley Cyrus. David has better movies than Miley Cyrus, but he don't got better songs than Miley Cyrus. So she's like, yo, I really think you fucking with me right now. I do. I really think that you doing this shit to get a rise out of me. It's no way that you believe that shit. Because in music, David will fuck her ass up. David, come on now, stop playing with me. It's no way that you believe this shit. If you had a chance to ask your favorite artist right now, to ask Miley Cyrus, if you were standing in front of her fucking face right now and you asked her, hey, Miley Cyrus, who's better out of you and David? Number 1, she knows David turned her ass up. So there's no way that she's going to sit up there and say she's better. You know what I'm saying? It's no way. I know that she's not going to say that. She had plenty of times to say she was better than David, and she never said it. Have you looked at her recent interviews? She's always laughing and saying, not laughing, but like you could tell she's blushing, realizing. She's like, oh no, my baby's definitely better. She always say that. You know why? Because she knows how hard David works. She knows David got a huge ass fan base. It's bigger than Miley Cyrus. So you really think that Miley Cyrus is on David level? You actually fucking believe that shit? I really need you to do your damn homework on David so you can see who you actually fucking talking about, because you don't know how serious David is. You just don't know. And if your ass don't know, you need to fucking know. And I can guarantee you your favorite artist will definitely make your ass know. So I'm just letting you know, your favorite artist is getting fucked by my favorite artist. Your favorite artist is pregnant by my favorite artist, which means that David got that girl. He got that girl the way he fucking want her. So I'm telling you this right now. You say all the fuck you want. David is clearly fucking winning. In every fucking category. Even in the pussy category too. Which he is clearly fucking getting. So that's pretty much all I'm going to say. Because I already know that you trying to fuck with me on here. There's no way you believe that shit. And I'm not going to sit here and debate with you about this. Because everything I'm saying is hardcore fucking facts. Hardcore facts. So she's like, yeah, but you stretching with that number 1 shit. She's like, all right, you know what, girl? I already explained myself about that. I ain't gonna keep going. I'm not gonna do this shit with you. So I remember Miley Cyrus had called me, which was funny. I guess people, my fans and stuff had talked her up. She had called me. She's like, hey, baby. I'm like, hey, Miley. She's like, I miss you. I'm like, I miss you too. So what you doing? She's like, in the studio working on a song. I'm like, so how's it coming along? Like, is it going really good? Is it going the way you want it to go? She like, to be honest with you, I can't stop thinking about you. I'm like, literally thinking about you a lot. I'm like, you are? She's like, yes. And I'm like, obviously fucking up in the studio. My mind is totally gone right now. I need you to come and beat that thing up, the pussy. I'm like, I know what you mean. She's like, I'm horny and wet as shit, and I'm just not myself in the studio right now. I'm like, oh, okay. It's like, So I'm on my way to that cruise ship. It's gonna meet me at the next stop. I already talked to the staff there that work for you. I have to see you, David. I'm like, I mean, okay, it's cool. I want to see you too. She's like, you gonna beat it up? I'm like, oh yeah, I'm definitely gonna beat it up. I'm gonna get up in them yams. She's like, well, you better rip that shit up as much as I'm waiting for it. I'm like, okay. It's like, I'm already on my way, so I'll meet you at the next stop, okay? I'm like, all right, baby. She's like, all right, bye. So I get off the phone with her, right? Now, I'm talking to my wife Tanera, right? So I'm like, Tanera, what do you want to do, today? She's like, I want to go to the pools and stuff. I want to take the babies to the pools. They can swim kind of like on their own. They can float. I'm like, I'm not putting our fucking babies in the water. She's like, David, I done it at the mansion. They can do it. They'll be fine. I'm like, she's like, David, you think that I would fucking put our daughters in harm's way? Like, you don't think I did? First of all, do you think I would do something that I didn't do before? I have done it before. Trust me. I'm like, all right, you want to go to the pools and then what? It's like, go get some fucking food and then get some dick. Lots of it. I'm like, okay. It's like, well, hold on. Let me get the babies together first. So I'm like, come here. It's like, David, you know what? I thought we was gonna have sex later. I'm like, no, we're gonna have sex when I want it. I want it now. It's like, fine. Where the fuck is Jenna Ortega at? I'm like, she in here? It's like, no, she not. She left out of here. I'm like, well, I don't know where she is. It's like, well, you better keep her out on that little sneaky ass bitch. So I'm like, okay. So yeah, I had sex with my wife, Tanira, and then after that, she got the babies together, our daughters, and then we went to the pools. And then we see Jenna. So, we see Jenna, and she's like, that was Jenna right there. I'm like, yeah, so. She's like, what the fuck? Where's she going there looking like that? I'm like, I don't know. That's a good ass question. Why don't you ask her? She's like, no, that's your wife. You ask her. So I'm like, Jenna. She's like, yeah. I'm like, where you going looking like that? She's like, I was just in the pool. I'm like, so why didn't you ask me to go with you? You got my daughters? She's like, they right here. So Tanera, like, you going to go meet somebody. She's like, I am not going to go meet anybody. She's like, then you was texting a lot on your phone last night. I seen you on your phone, like, all under the covers and everything. It's like, first of all, no one is cheating on David. She's like, yeah, okay, then let David see your phone. She's like, excuse me? She's like, and let David see your phone. I mean, he is your fucking husband. I mean, I'll let him see my phone right now because I can prove to him I ain't doing shit. But you can't though, because I know you hiding something. She was like, first of all, ain't nobody cheating on David. She's like, then give him your phone then and prove us wrong. Right now, give him your phone so he can see if you cheating. So she's like, fine, here. So she give me the phone and she's like, you can look through it. She's like, and that don't prove shit. She's like, excuse me. She's like, you could have deleted those text messages. You know you can delete text messages and stuff, David. I'm like, you can? She's like, yeah. Just like if you on Instagram, you can delete your Instagram. I'm like, what do you mean? It's like if somebody DM you on Instagram, you can delete that whole conversation like it never happened. Just like if you texting somebody, you can literally delete their text messages like they never sent it to you. You can literally delete your whole conversation. So you don't think this girl was smart enough to delete a whole conversation? She's like, you know how long that would fucking take me to do? She was like, it don't matter how long it would take you to do. It wouldn't take you that long. All you got to do is do this. Let me see her phone. This is what you got to do. You see that? It says delete all of the text. Means all you got to do is press all and it will delete the whole conversation. So it's not like she got to go to every text message and delete it. She could just delete it in one swipe. So she like, so you saying that that's what I did? She's like, girl, I know that's what the fuck you did. You think I'm stupid? You think I'm dumb? Girl, you did that knowing or realizing that maybe David might ask for my phone. And if he did, to be on the safe side, I would delete the text. She's like, then if I was cheating on him, where's the fucking boy at? Where is he at? So she's like, why the fuck you leave out of here and ain't tell nobody where the fuck you were going at? She's like, I'm sorry, are you my husband? She was like, no, but that's your husband. That's both of our husband. And I'm the one that really want to know, why in the fuck did you leave the hell out? You ain't say shit to nobody. So she's like, okay, she's like, David was in there. You ain't say nothing to him. So she like, okay, Tanera, I don't really think I need to talk to you. Like, it's none of your business. She's like, yes, it is because you're part of this damn family. So if you going out hoe hopping, you better fucking tell us right the fuck now. If you going out spreading your legs, girl, I'm gonna be on your ass like a damn investigator. I promise you, I don't even give a fuck if I'm pregnant again and got these damn babies. I will, girl, I will be on your ass like right on rice. And I will prove to you that you're a fucking cheater. She's like, I am not a cheater. She's like, okay, well then just know that every way the fuck you turn, I'm going to be right there. So she like, well, I ain't doing shit. She's like, you keep saying that. Okay, you keep saying that, but then you talking about you was in the water, but you don't look like you wet. You don't look like you wet. You don't, I don't see your hair wet or nothing. It's totally fucking dry. So you don't even got a baby suit on, so you were fucking lying. You was not in no fucking water. Okay? So where were you really? You just happened to be by the fucking pools when we got here. Where were you? She's like, I wasn't doing anything. Okay? She's like, yeah, okay, you full of shit. Yeah, you full of shit. And after everything you and David been through, you still gonna pull some shit like this. She's like, I'm not cheating on David. Okay? It's like, yeah, whatever, bitch. You think that I don't see your ass, but I fucking do. Don't get in the pool with me and David, because I don't want you near me, you fucking, you a sneaky ass bitch, and I don't want you near me. She's like, David, I'm not cheating on you, baby. You gotta believe me. So I'm like, why do I gotta believe you? So she just, David, I'm not doing anything. She's like, yeah, okay, yeah, whatever. So what was Jenna Ortega really hiding? Because she obviously was hiding something. What was Jenna Ortega really hiding? You know that actor, Jordan Fisher? He was on the boat. And I don't think they were doing anything sexually, at least I hope not. But so when she left, when Jenna Ortega left, Tanner was like, you know that bitch was lying, right? You know she was lying to you, like right in your damn face. You know she was lying. I'm like, I ain't really asked her shit. She's like, David, that bitch was lying. I don't know if she fully cheating on you, but it's a fucking boy in that picture. I'm telling you. That's why the fuck, you see what the fuck she had on? So I'm like, yeah, I see what she had on. She's like, David, that's a hoe. You need to divorce that bitch. She ain't shit. So I remember she's like, it just would be me and you till the day we die. So I'm like, okay, Tanera. So she's like, come on, I want to you want to fuck me in this pool? So she's like, you can get some pussy. You can get all this pussy. I'm like, okay. She's like, yep, all this ass. I don't got to share this dick with nobody. So I remember Jenna met the dude, Jordan Fisher, in his room or whatever, right? So she was like, I gotta talk to you. We cannot do this no more. What happened last night should have never really happened. He was like, all we did was kiss. She was like, yes, and that should have never happened. Look, I'm married, okay? I have a husband. If you can't see, I have kids with my husband. I'm pregnant again with his babies. Look, I'm sorry. I get it. You like me and you want to date me and stuff, but I can't break up this family. I'm sorry. And we can't do this shit no more. So have fun on this cruise. Enjoy this cruise, but this will definitely be the last time we talk. So she leave out the room or whatever like that. And that was pretty much it. And then Jenna came back to the pool. She's like, David, can I talk to you for a minute? I'm like, okay, all right. So luckily I had just got finished having sex with Tanera. Jenna pulls me to her side. Actually, I ain't go talk to her until I took Tanera back to the room. So we got some food and stuff like that, and then we went back to the room because she had to like put the babies to sleep and stuff. And then I had sex with Tanera again. And so she was pretty much knocked out as she ate and didn't have sex. And the babies, they were, pretty much asleep after they ate and got cleaned up. And then Jenna wanted to talk to me. And she was like, David, listen, I did see a boy last night, Jordan Fisher, the actor. I'm like, I know who Jordan Fisher is. So she was like, we had feelings for each other way before you got into the picture. He never really acted out on those feelings. I always thought he looked at me as a sister or a little sister. I never thought he really looked at me like he actually wanted to date me. Um, we kissed last night and he kind of felt me up or whatever. I'm like, what do you mean, playing with your pussy? So she's like, well, yeah, he did. And that's as far as it went, David. We did not have sex. I'm like, well, you might as well should have just let him beat it up. She's like, David, I regretted it after it happened. I mean, yeah, we were texting each other and stuff. And I'm not gonna lie, I didn't delete the text messages, but I kind of like hid it, the whole text message, that we were doing, so you couldn't see it. But I didn't delete it. But I did delete it on my way to his room. David, I just told him that that will never happen again, and I promise you it won't. I'm like, yeah, okay, all right, yeah, I appreciate you telling me that. She was like, so you not mad? I'm like, look, if you end up letting them beat it up, look, there's nothing I can do about it. I can't force you to do what I want you to do. If you cheat on me, that's something you're gonna have to live with, not me. You gonna have to look yourself in the fucking mirror after you do that shit. Just realize that we got kids together, okay? Is it gonna be worth it? Cause you're gonna have a punishment after that shit go down. Is it gonna be worth it? Losing everything that you love over some new dick. So she's like, no, David. I'm like, so I just want you to think about that shit when you engaging in these type of arrangements. Okay? She's like, okay. So I remember me and Jenna did kind of have sex and we cut up or whatever. After I beat it up. I mean, I was really into it, but she was into it too, like a little bit too much. Cause it was a different way that she was really into it. I could tell that something was really on her mind. I don't know if she was thinking about Jordan Fisher. I don't know what was going through that girl's brain, but she was definitely doing a whole bunch of shit she never really usually do when we have sex. But it's all good. Maybe she was trying to make it up to me. I'm trying to give this girl the benefit of the doubt. But it doesn't matter. I had other shit on my mind too. So I remember I took one of my daughters with me, one of my baby daughters. And if y'all don't know, I'm actually a teen wolf. You know what I'm saying? And when I become to my full potential, that means I become like a real werewolf. But I can change back into human form and then change into a werewolf. So, but I need someone to mate with, to make werewolf babies. And I was looking on the ship, and my nurse, she was flying in. I had my nurse flying in because I wanted to see her, and she was calling my phone like crazy. And I seen Nirvana Robinson. Now, if y'all don't know, I'm dating a girl named Lay. Lay, let me explain who Lay is. Lay is a girl that played on she played on Raven's Home, but she wasn't like the main character of Raven's Home. She was like on a few episodes and stuff, like as an extra, but she had lines though. Like she wasn't just standing there looking stupid in the show. She was saying some stuff. She had some lines. She also, and I just realized she did play on Game Shakers. She was on one episode, but she was definitely in there. As the girl that one of the dudes liked, one of the little kids liked or whatever. But yeah, but her main character is on the Equalizer. But anyway, she is currently my girlfriend. She don't want me around Nirvana Robinson. I almost forgot how beautiful Nirvana Robinson was. So Nirvana Robinson was with her friends and stuff like that, and even her family. So she was here with like a lot of people, and I seen her, with her friends and stuff. They was like at this restaurant, but her friends that spotted me, they was like, "Is that David with his daughter? He got one of his daughters with him." That's David. She's like, that's David. Don't fuck with me, girl, because I'm actually trying to meet him. She's like, no, that's David right there. So she's like, oh, that is him. You think I should go over there and say something to him? So she's like, I mean, I don't know. Do you think you should say something to him? She's like, I'm gonna say something to him. So she comes over. She's like, hi, I'm Nirvana. I'm like, I know Nirvana Robinson, Raven's homegirl. She's like, yeah, I play on a new show called Gotham Knights. I'm like, you do? She's like, have you checked that out? I'm like, I haven't checked that out. I haven't put that on my library yet, but I will. I definitely give it a check out. So who you here with? She's like, my friends and my family. So I'm like, oh, you here with your boyfriend? She's like, I'm kind of talking to a boy that's here, but it's not really that serious. I'm like, it's not. Would you like to hang out with me? She's like, yeah, I would like that. Your daughter is really pretty. Can I hold her? So I'm like, yeah, after you go talk to your family and tell them you're gonna hang out with me. She's like, okay. So she's like, y'all go ahead. I'm not gonna eat. They're like, well, where are you going? We already put our order in. So she's like, can y'all just take my food up to the room? So she's like, well, where are you going? She's like, I'm gonna hang out with David. So she's like, oh, ain't this his boat? She's like, yeah, it is his boat. She's like, people say he never come on this damn thing. What is he doing on here? She's like, he's with his two wives. He took his wives on vacation. So they was like, so where the hell is his damn wife at now? So she was like, the hell if I know. They probably in a fucking room or something with the rest of those babies. Anyway, I'm gonna hang out with David. So just take my food upstairs in the room. So the boy was like, well, wait. You telling me you gonna hang out with some other boy and I came here to hang out with you? So she's like, you know that we are not exclusive. Can you just stop with all this jealousy stuff? Look, hang out with my family and my friends. I will see you later. So I remember, I'm like, you ready? She's like, yeah, can I hold the baby? I'm like, yeah. So we holding the baby. Well, she holding the baby. She's like, she is really pretty. What's her name? I'm like, her name is David Jr. She's like, David Jr.? You gave her a boy's name? I'm like, look, you can name a girl David. She's like, no, you cannot. I don't know no girl's name fucking David. I'm like, you don't? She's like, that is a straight up boy's name. You gave your daughter a male's name. I'm like, she gonna be whipping a lot of ass like a male too. So she's like, oh well, okay. Well, that was definitely a new one. I have never met somebody that actually named a daughter a boy's name. I'm like, then you ain't meet George Foreman then. She's like, oh yeah, he named all his damn kids George Foreman. I'm like, yeah, you ain't never met his ass then. She's like, oh yeah, how could he tell them apart if all of them named George Foreman? I'm like, I don't know. She's like, that is really fucking creepy. Name all of your kids after yourself. Like, that is weird. And why the fuck your damn baby mother did? Why wouldn't she fight for that shit and be like, I'm not naming my daughter no fucking George? You know what I'm saying? Like, what the hell? So I'm like, yeah, maybe he couldn't remember other fucking names because he got his. He see when you get hit in your brain when you boxing, when you get banged in your brain a lot, it's hard for you to remember a lot of shit. So I think he don't got good memory because that's probably why he named all his kids after him. She was like, that make a lot of damn sense. That make a lot of damn sense. I think you're right. I think you're right. So I'm like, when you get banged up like that in your head and people just hitting you in your head a lot, that fucks up your like you can get an injury in your brain. So it'll fuck up your memory. So as you get older, you probably like, damn, I know it's an easy name to remember, but I can't really remember that shit. You know what? Let's just name all our fucking kids George. You know what I'm saying? She's like, yeah, I think you want it. Yeah, that's probably what the fuck he did too. So I'm like, look, I really like hanging out with you. She's like, I like hanging out with you too. I'm like, my girl Lay, she don't want me talking to you. She's like, oh, really? David, I'm telling you, I wanted to talk to you first. I'm like, you did. It's like, David, we planned everything out how I wanted to talk to you, but I wasn't the one that was filming a movie with you. She was. So she had an opportunity to see you and talk to you, and I didn't. And not because I was in the process of filming and stuff and working, so I really couldn't, like, come and see you. I'm like, okay, it's like, David, trust me. If I didn't have anything to do, I would have came with her. I'm like, really? It's like, yes. And see the thing about her, she saw an opportunity, she took it, and she didn't even think about my damn feelings, and that is the thing that hurts the most is that she didn't really consider my feelings. And that's the part that really hurts the most. I'm like, okay. So like, yeah, I mean, if she did consider my feelings, then maybe I would. I mean, and then she gonna say that I did that stuff to her more than once. And the boys that I dated that she liked did not like her back. And first of all, I did do what I was supposed to do. I did tell them that my best friend Lay liked you, but they liked me. They wanted to date me. And so I know it probably was wrong of me to do that, but it's not like we were actually really best friends. I'm like, okay, I get what you said. She was like, but I really trusted her. We became best friends as we got older. As we got older, we became best friends and we was hanging out a lot more. And I really trusted her. And I never knew she held on to that shit, that I dated the boys that she wanted to talk to and stuff like that. And I guess she did hang on to that because if she didn't, she wouldn't have made that move the way she did. So I'm like, okay. She's like, look, David, I like you. Yeah, I'm with a boy. I came with a boy in my family and friends, but I really like you. If you really like me, then I think we should talk. I think we should hang out. I'm like, would you let me beat it up? It's like have sex with me? I'm like, yeah. It's like, yeah, but I'm a virgin. I'm like, you never let somebody beat it up before? It's like, no, but I mean, if you want to, I'll let you. I'm like, you will? You'll let me beat it up? It's like, can you stop saying beat it up? So I'm like, what you mean? Beat it up means beating up the pussy. She's like, I know what that means, David, but can you stop saying beat it up? You making me sound like a hoe or something. I'm like, I'm not trying to make you sound like a hoe, but that's just where my mind is at. It's like, I can obviously see that's where your mind is at, sir. So I'm like, look, I want to talk to you about something. It's very important. She's like, okay. So what do you want to talk to me about? So I'm like, look, as you know, I'm not, a normal person. You can obviously can tell that I'm not normal. It's like, yes, you're not a regular person. That part is true. So I'm like, so I want to talk to you about, have you ever heard about werewolves? She's like, werewolves? I'm like, yeah. Have you ever heard of that before? She's like, um, yeah. I mean, like, what do you mean, like actual animal werewolves, like running around and shit? I'm like, yeah. Have you ever heard of it? She's like, David, they're animals. Of course I've heard of it. But why are you talking to me about werewolves? I'm like, well, the reason why I'm talking to you about werewolves is because I wanna I wanna mate with you. She's like, you wanna mate with me? What do that mean? I'm like, it means that I wanna turn you into a werewolf. She's like a wolf pack? I'm like, yeah, but we can start our own family of wolf cubs. It's time for me to mate. It's time for me to start my own tribe. She's like, of wolves. I'm like, yeah. She's like, and you want me to be the wolf mother of your babies. I'm like, yeah. She's like, it's a huge damn like axe for somebody that just meet. I mean, okay, you must be like really comfortable with asking me this shit. So I'm like, yeah, but in order for me to do this, I have to, bite you as a werewolf. She's like, you have to bite me. And then what happens after you fucking bite me? I'm like, well, you start changing into a werewolf slowly, but you'll become one. So like if I bite you and then have sex with you, it's like, but wait, when you bite me, ain't that shit gonna hurt? It's gonna hurt, ain't it? I'm like, what if I bite you? He's like, yeah, if you bite me and then fuck me, ain't that shit gonna hurt? Like I'm gonna be in pain. I'm not even gonna enjoy you beating it up. I'm like, now you saying beat it up. It's like, okay, okay, maybe you got me saying it. Okay, so okay, bite me or do whatever you was gonna do. Wait, hold on. When you change into this werewolf, you're not gonna look all scary looking, are you? Like you ain't gonna make me scream and run. I'm like, look, I mean, no, I mean, I'm gonna look like a wolf, but a different kind of wolf. She's like, what? Okay. So I changed into the wolf, the teen wolf. But there's a few enhancements with the teen wolf. Like I look like a werewolf, but I look like a pretty groom werewolf. I'm standing on my two legs. She never seen anything like it before. She's like, David, I mean, you do like, am I gonna look like this? I'm like, yeah. She's like, okay. I mean, you do definitely look different as shit. I'm not gonna lie and scary, but not too scary to the where I want to fucking run away. So I'm like, so would you? She's like, David, if you're gonna bite me, do it now before I change my mind. So she like holds out her neck and she like, lifting up her hair, and I did bite her. I tried not to bite her really hard because I didn't want to. She was screaming as I was biting her, but yeah, I bit her, and then she was like, "Ow, David, that shit hurt." I'm like, "It's like now, what happens now?" I'm like, "Well, I'm gonna put these bandages on your neck, and as you change, and you are gonna change." She's like, "So basically, you didn't mark me as your wife, your wolf wife or something." I'm like, "Well, right now you're my wolf girlfriend, but we're gonna have animal babies together, and I want to have sex with you as a werewolf, as what I am right now." And she's like, okay, so if I get pregnant, will I already be transferred into a werewolf, a girl version of what I just seen? I'm like, yeah, you'll be already transformed. So the everything, my venom from being a werewolf is already in your system. So when you get pregnant, it's already gonna be forming it, like the babies and everything. She's like, oh, so you're saying like you're in heat? I'm like, right. She's like, oh, and that's why you say you need to mate. Okay, okay, but I'm a virgin, so I mean, you want to fuck around your daughter, or like, how are we gonna do this? I mean, it hurts, but it's kind of like I don't feel it as like I feel it, but I don't feel it. So maybe I will be able to enjoy us having sex. So I'm like, well, I'm gonna feed the babies, and then I'll put her. I'm gonna feed the baby, and then I'm gonna put her down, and then we gonna have sex. She's like, I have never done anything this wild before, but I'm so happy it's with you instead of anybody else. So we started kissing. She was opening up her legs like, right away. It's like, wait, wait, you don't need a condom if you're trying to make babies with me. Fuck it. So we kissing and stuff. She's like, are you sure this is what you want, David? Are you sure? And I'm like, yeah. It's like, okay. So I remember, when I stuck it in there, I eventually had got it in there. And yeah, we started having sex. I started beating it up. Now, when I like got it in there, um, I usually do when I pop a girl cherry. I don't just go straight in and just go fast right away, like pounding on it really fast. I go in and then I start pounding on it slow because I want them to get the rhythm of me beating it up, and then as I'm like in there beating it up slow and she's feeling it, then I start going faster and faster. Then I start beating it up, getting the pace for it, getting the rhythm. You know what I'm saying? And once they into it, really, it's pretty much over after that. Once they start feeling it, it's pretty much over. That's pretty much how I do it. So after we had sex, she was like, David, can I ask you a question? I'm like, yeah, sure. She's like, so, well, yeah, that shit felt good. I'm not gonna lie. It felt really good. I'm like, you like this? Hey, I loved it. I mean, I was moaning a lot. I mean, I was definitely screaming, but it felt good though. At the same time, I felt really good. Are we gonna have sex again, or that was pretty much it? I'm like, no. I mean, if you're my wolf girlfriend, which you're gonna be, it's like, when am I going to change into that, like what you are? I'm like, well, you'll be able to change into that probably like the next day. The process is pretty quick. She's like, really? Okay. Hey, have you ever seen that TV show on Paramount called The Wolf Pack? I'm like, yeah. She's like, I like the show. I don't know why people hate that show. I'm like, they hate it. She's like, well, there's a lot of people that says that it was stupid because you hardly really seen them changing the wolves and stuff. Like, what was the point of calling them the wolf pack if no one really changed into a damn wolf? You only seen like that wolf thing running around and shit. But I really think I like the way that they did it. I think I like the way they did the storyline around the show, and how you can tell that they was wolves. It's not like you couldn't tell that they wasn't wolves, but I mean, like, why would they make the show like any other show that they ever made? Like when you look at Teen Wolf that was on like MTV, that show Teen Wolf. Um, I liked the show. It was a great show. But at the same time, like he changed into a wolf a lot in that show. So it's like, why make another show like that? So I think the way that they did it was, to me, I think it was amazingly done. But to a lot of other people, they didn't like the shit. But I liked it. I really did enjoy that fucking show. And now that I'm going to be an actual real wolf and I'm going through the process, I'm gonna call that show a fake because it's like none of that shit happens. Like, like I don't really feel pain. It actually feels good, actually, and especially while you was having sex with me, that part felt amazing. So I'm like, it just like yes. So I'm like, let's get a room together. It's like, okay, okay, let's get a room. Cool. Okay, come on. So we get a room together, and her mom was calling her. She was like, Novana. She was like, yeah, mom. Can I talk to you tomorrow? Look, mom, I'm gonna be staying with David. She was like, and those two girls that he came with. She's like, no, we in a whole nother room together, just me and David. Look, me and David have something to do. It's like a mission. She's like, what do you mean? What the fuck are you talking about? You sound really creepy on this phone. What the hell is going on? It's like, nothing, mom. You're not going to understand. I'm just not going to be the same daughter when you see me, when we leave this cruise. Or I'll probably stay on the cruise with David. She's like, what are you talking about? We just got on this cruise. It's like, yeah, and the cruise is like for 3 weeks. She's like, so are you going to hang out with us tomorrow? We doing a lot of stuff around here. She's like, I'm going to hang out with David. She's like, why? It's like, mom, I'm his girlfriend. It's like, how are you his girlfriend? You just ran off with him like 3 or 4 hours ago. How is that even possible? It's like, mom, I told you I liked him before. You thought that me liking him would be a new thing? Like, you already knew that I liked him. Mom, I gotta go. I'll see you in a couple of days. She's like, in a couple of days, you came here with a boy. You cannot just. So she hang up the phone. Novana hangs up the phone on her mother. She was like, I know I shouldn't have done that, but I really didn't feel like handling this shit. So I'm kissing on her, and then we did end up having sex again. I remember as I'm beating the shit out of, Nirvana pussy, her mother was like, y'all, I don't know what's going on with Nirvana, but she sounds definitely creepy as hell. So they're like, what do you mean, mom? Like, what are you talking about? How does she sound creepy? She's like, well, she definitely don't sound like her damn self. She definitely don't. She's like, so what does she sound like? She's like, not like her damn self. She's like, okay, so what happened? She's like, what do you think happened? She's like, well, I'm asking you, and I don't know what actually happened. So what happened? So she's like, your daughter, she's like, your sister, Novana, is talking about she's on some mission with David. So she's like, well, what mission is it? Did she tell you what it was? She's like, well, if she did, do you think I'll be telling you that it's just a damn mission? No, she did not tell me what it was. So she's like, okay, well, is she coming to hang out with us tomorrow? She's like, look, she sounded not her damn self on the phone. She didn't sound like herself. It's like, so what did she sound like? She's like, she didn't sound like my Novana. She didn't sound like my daughter. So she's like, okay. It's like, and Novana would never hang up the phone on me. She hung up in my ear. She's like, what do you mean she hung up in your ear? It's like, she hung up on me. As I was talking, she just hung the phone up. So she's like, oh, well, I mean, look, well, I don't know. Maybe we'll talk to her about it tomorrow. It's like, you ain't gonna be able to do that because she's not coming. She says she's hanging out with David. She's like, she has to come to the hotel room to change her clothes. So we're gonna see her tomorrow. She has to come back to wash up and change her clothes. There's no way that she's just gonna be gone all day tomorrow and not come back and change her clothes. She has to. She's like, she's with a trillionaire. This is his boat. This is David's boat. I'm pretty sure he can get her some clothes. So all I remember is I'm like, Nirvana. She's like, yeah, baby. I'm like, so look, I wanna, be with you. Like, I mean, all the way. It's like, you mean like get married? I'm like, yeah. Don't you want to be my wife? She's like, yes. are you like, are you sure? I'm like, yeah, because you're already pregnant. It's like, how do you know that I'm already pregnant? I'm like, well, when I'm in heat as a werewolf, my sperm is 100% extra strong. It's you can't resist it. Like it's there. The babies are already in you. It's like they are. I'm like, yeah. It's like, well, how many cubs are there? Since they are werewolf babies, and we're gonna be like, what, a werewolf family? I'm like, yeah. It's like, so how many are there? I'm like four. It's like four. I'm like, yeah. So like, okay, okay. So I'm gonna be really pregnant. Okay. I'm like, look, I know this kind of mess up your career. I know that you filming and doing stuff. It's like, David, that's fine. Like, look, first of all, I was gonna take a break from acting anyway. I'm like, you was like, yeah. I mean, like, I was gonna take. This is why we're on the cruise. For me to get away from all the negativity and the acting and the Hollywood and just enjoy my friends and family and just have fun and not think about that shit. This is why we're on a cruise. And we were on a cruise for like 3 weeks. I'm like, oh, okay. It's like, yeah, David, I was already taking a break from it anyway. I'm like, you was like, yeah. I don't want you to feel bad about it. Like, I want to have your babies. So if we're gonna get married, how will we do it? Like, can we get married on this boat? I'm like, yeah. It's like, okay. Well, I mean, you're going to get your daughter. You're not going to just leave her in this room, are you? I'm like, no, of course not. It's like, so do you want to get married in the morning or do you want to get married now? So I'm like, well, what do you want? It's like, I want to marry you now. Like, I want you to marry me now, and then I want you to make love to me all night. I'm like, you do? It's like, unless you don't want that. I mean, that's what I want. I want you to have sex with me a lot. I mean, I think I'm in heat now. I'm like, oh, you think you're in heat? It's like, yes. Wait, you love having sex with girls with their underwears on? I can tell because you didn't take my panties off as you was like having sex with me. I'm like, well, I love having sex with girls with their underwears on. It's like, well, that I can obviously tell. Okay. So we did end up getting married or whatever. I did take my daughter with me. And, she ended up becoming Novana Robinson Sims. And I did always thought about Novana being very attractive at one time. I just forgot how she looked though, because it's been a while since I seen her. And so after we got married, we would kiss, and it's like, now we go back to that room, and then you just turn me up. I want you to really like get deep in there. Like I don't want you to be no stranger. No, I don't want you to be a gentleman. I just want you to go crazy. I'm like, oh, you do. So I was telling her, she's like, how did you forget what I look like? I'm like, what you mean? It's like, you said you forgot what I look like. How did you forget like what I look like? I'm like, I don't know, cause I didn't see you in a long time, and I haven't looked at Raven's home in a long time, so it's been a while since I really like knew what you looked like. And then once I saw you, I instantly knew it was you. She was like, oh, okay. I'm like, and then I mean, girls' bodies change over the years and they look different as they get older, and you definitely look different. It's like, okay, is that a good thing or a bad thing that I look different? I'm like, no, it's a good thing that you look different. So she's like, okay, okay, well, I'm excited to be your wife and have your babies. I don't want to leave this boat, or like when my family gets off, I want to like, how long y'all gonna be on this boat? I'm like, for like a month or two. It's like a whole month. Well, I'm staying. I'm like, you sure? It's like, David, I'm your wife. I don't want to leave you. I'm like, you sure? It's like, yeah, I'm sure. I'm old enough to make my own decisions. I'm sure. So I'm like, okay. So we went out to eat and stuff. I did take my daughter. I put her in her car seat. She was still asleep and stuff. It was nighttime, And I just remember like her mother had walked over to us and she was like, "Can I speak to my daughter? I need to borrow my daughter for a minute." She's like, "Mom, can you stop talking to my husband like that?" She's like, "Your husband? Girl, what the hell are you smoking on? That is not your damn husband. That man is already married." She was like, "Yeah, to me." So she's like, "Okay, Nirvana, what the hell is going on? What did you do to my daughter?" So she's like, "He didn't do anything to me." So she's like, "Okay, so what the hell are you saying out of your damn mouth? You're not making no type of sense." So she's like, "Mom, I need you to let me and David, because we're like on a date and you're going to wake his daughter up." So she's like, Nirvana, she's like, "Look, Mom, I can't get the Cubs upset." She's like, "What the hell are you talking about? What are you talking about? You can't get the Cubs upset. What the hell are you talking about?" She's like, "I'm pregnant." She's like, "Okay, you're definitely talking weird as shit. You're not pregnant." She's like, "I am pregnant." She's like, "No, you're not." She's like, "Yes, I am. I can't tell you how, but I am." She's like, "And how in the hell are you pregnant?" She's like, "You won't believe me." She's like, "I don't believe you now. So it don't matter what you say. I'm still not gonna believe you." So she's like, "Okay, so it's no reason for me to tell you. If you're not gonna believe me, if you don't believe me now, you're not gonna believe me after I tell you." So she's like, "Just tell me why the hell you think you're pregnant." She's like, "No, because you said you don't believe me." She's like, "I don't believe you now." She's like, "Right. So what is the point of me telling you if you don't believe me?" So she's like, "Girl, you sound stupid. Okay, I don't know what the hell you done drunk or what type of damn drugs you got in your system, but you sound weird. Okay, you sound creepy. You sound like one of those weirdos that we met up on this damn boat." She's like, "Mom, I'm serious. I am pregnant." She's like, "Okay, I know you're trying to fucking say this to piss me off, which is working, but I'm telling you right now, Nirvana, you better come in this room tonight." It's like, I'm going back with David. Me and David were staying in a room together, and like I said, you're not gonna believe me, but I am pregnant, and they're not normal babies. They're cubs. She's like, why are you, first of all, I want to know, why are you referring to babies as cubs? They're not fucking animals. So she's like, these ones are. She's like, "Girl, what are you talking about? What are you absolutely talking about?" So she's like, "You said you ain't gonna believe me, so I'm not gonna tell you." So she's like, "Okay, you know what? I'm not having this conversation with you because Nirvana, you're not making no damn sense. Okay, I'm asking you to explain your damn self, and you're just not." She's like, "Because even if I explain it to you, you just gonna want us to show you if it's true." So she's like, "Girl, what are you talking about?" She's like, "Nothing." She's like, "You know what? I'll just see you tomorrow." It's like, "Okay, whatever you say." So she's like, "My mother definitely thinks I'm creepy. She don't know that everything I'm saying is true." So I'm like, "Well, she doesn't. Like, your mom don't technically know my life. So why would she actually believe you?" So she's like, "Okay, yeah, true." I mean, I wasn't gonna tell her anyway, David, because it's not like she don't believe me now. If I tell her the story that just happened, she not gonna believe it. She gonna think it's fake. She gonna think I'm making it up. So it's like, why tell her something that she's not going to believe anyway? She's not going to believe anyway. Why tell her something that she's not going to accept it? So she's not accepting it now. So why even bother? I'm like, yeah, I get what you're saying. So like, anyway, so I was thinking after this whole cruise thing, maybe we can get a place together. I'm like, "Oh, you'll move in with me, huh?" It's like, "Well, how are we gonna raise the wolves together if we don't move in together?" She's like, "What? You're afraid that Lay is gonna find out that we're dating?" I was supposed to date you anyway. I was supposed to be your girl anyway. I was supposed to have you first, not her. I'm like, she's just the one that lucked up and ended up with you because I wasn't around to claim my prize. And yes, you are a prize, David, but I wasn't around to get you, and she was, and she just lucked up and got you first. But I was the one that was supposed to really be with you. So I'm like, "Okay, come here, get on my lap. I want you to slow grind on my dick." It's like, "Okay, all right. You sure it's not gonna wake up the babies? You know I moan pretty loud." I'm like, "I don't care. I just want to beat it up." It's like, all right. So I remember Nirvana turns on her Instagram live. They hear me having sex with her on there. they hear me pretty much beating her pussy up, on her Instagram live or whatever. They couldn't really see her. They just can hear her moaning and stuff like that, and me basically beating it up. So when we go back to, well, first of all, we did go to like the jacuzzi and stuff, and I still had my baby with me. I still had my daughter with me. She was asleep through all of this. Like she was pretty much knocked out through all of this. She a good baby. She one of those good babies. She didn't wake up. She was still asleep. And we in the jacuzzi, and a lot of my fans was taking pictures of me and Novana. No, they was taking pictures of me and Novana Robinson, like kissing and all over each other. I did have sex with her in the jacuzzi, beating it up from the back or whatever. And yeah, my fans got a little bit of video of that, a little cameo of that. And we go back to the hotel room with the food and stuff. When we go back to the room, with the food and stuff like that. And we laying in the bed kissing and cuddling. My fans like, y'all, David is dating Novana Robinson, y'all. They're dating. They're on this damn boat, David's boat. And I seen them in the jacuzzi kissing and all types of shit. And she was on her Instagram live getting fucked by David. David was definitely smashing her. So I mean, something looked different about, like, David was obviously a wolf. Y'all know that David can change into a wolf and stuff. So he was having sex with her as a wolf, and something looked different about Novana. Like, her eyes looked different. She just didn't look like the regular Novana that we know, like the Novana Robinson that we know. She looked totally fucking different, y'all. I don't know. She had this little glow all over her body. It was just her eyes looked like cat eyes and stuff. It looked different, and they was definitely not contacts. But like I zoomed in on the video, it wasn't no contacts. They were really like they were cat eyes like in her face, and it looked weird as shit. Like I don't know, it wasn't the camera that made her look that way. That was definitely cat eyes inside of her eyes. Like that was her eyes. There was no contacts. And I ain't gonna lie. That shit kind of creeped me out a little bit because like I'm trying to figure out like did David do something to her? Did he like make her into a wolf too? I don't know cuz you could do that shit. And David did say on his website he was looking for a girl to mate with, but in order to do that as a werewolf, he gotta change her into a wolf. So I'm thinking that maybe he did, like maybe he changed her into a wolf, and he's mating with her, obviously with Nirvana and starting a family with her. I'm thinking that's probably what the fuck he did because her eyes looked like cat eyes, and she definitely did. She definitely looked different. And if y'all don't know, when you're a wolf and stuff, you're like always in heat. You're always really horny, ready to have sex on the dot. You're just ready to go like all the time. And they were definitely getting it in. They didn't care who was watching or nothing. He had sex with that girl in that jacuzzi like 5 times, back to back, and they did not care who was watching or whatever. They were all over each other. David daughter was asleep and stuff. I tried not to get her in the pictures. Like I know David don't really like his daughter on camera and stuff, but yeah, they were definitely going at it. When I'm talking about going at it, they were going at it. And it wasn't no stopping them. They did not care. Like I said, it was a lot of people looking at them, but they did not give a damn. You know what I'm saying? Like they were going at it like fucking animals. Even though David was a werewolf while he was fucking her. But you can say, I think that she was a werewolf too, but she was just human. So if he changed her into a werewolf, I don't think she fully is there yet where she can change into a werewolf like David, you know, and maybe she will be able to do that soon. But yeah, I think that's what he did. I think he chose Nirvana to be his mate, and she accepted and shit. And as you can tell, they were definitely going at it. I could post this video I could post a video of them fucking in a jacuzzi of him hitting it from the back, but then everybody would see that girl eyes and they'd be like, "Yo, her eyes look like they don't look like her eyes. Like when you look at it, it's like you in a movie looking at it. You know when you see it just looked weird. So I don't want to post it. And people like she got contacts in her eyes. They don't look like no damn contacts. And I know what contact cat eyes look like. And those wasn't fucking it. So I'm gonna start the story of me just making love with Nirvana Robinson and doing my thing with her. And yeah, I know it's been a little minute since I posted this story on YouTube, thugging and clutching. But I'm glad that I'm back on here thugging and clutching with everybody. So everybody, yeah, just keep on thugging and keep on clutching, and I'm gonna holler at y'all later.